Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Mimi, and today's episode is going to be all about nonverbal, being nonverbal. So if you have a child that has autism or ASD, that is also considered to be nonverbal. About 40% of children that are diagnosed with autism are also considered to be nonverbal. I've heard plenty of definitions of nonverbal and what that actually encompasses throughout my time learning with my daughter, Aria. Again, if you are new to this channel, I do have a 4-year-old that has been diagnosed with autism, and so going throughout this journey, I just decided to share what I'm learning, and maybe you guys can share what you're learning along the way with me. Nonverbal either means that they do not speak at all, or it means that they do not have functional language. So right now with my family and the way that Aria is going right now, she leans towards not having functional language. Although we are having ABA therapy and speech therapy and things like that, and daily practice and encouraging her to use her words, then we are trying to get better by giving her, helping her gain functional language. But technically, if my research serves me, then that she's still considered nonverbal. That means that basically she can't hold a conversation with another person functionally on her own. And so you might have a child that might also feel the same way, where they can't hold her, or they're not able to have a full conversation with another person, or the way they interact with other children their age is there's a disconnect in a way, and it makes it harder for them to socialize, not just because they're nonverbal, but also because of the other symptoms that go along with being autistic. Because autistic children, I'm using my daughter as an example, usually tend to shy away from other people, and it's much easier for Aria to end up playing on her own, and you kind of have to get in there if you want to actually play with her. And so that can kind of make it tough with social interacting and actually gaining that functional language that's needed to have a conversation between two people. Sometimes this happens because they just weren't able to develop language skills in general, even from a younger age. So some signs you can look for is basically if your child, maybe when they were a baby, did not babble enough, didn't do a lot of baby talk, or you didn't catch it. They didn't develop those small words like mama and daddy at an early age. I know those were some of the things that we noticed from Aria about right before she even turned 1. I was noticing that she wasn't saying mama or dada, or just small baby words that you would expect her to know at that age. On top of the fact that her different things like her eye contact, disrespectful. Anyway, other things like her eye contact wasn't always the best. Her eye contact wasn't always the best. Even now, it's something that we're still working on. Also, maybe not even responding to her name. Again, Aria is 4 years old, and that's something that we are still continuing to work on every day, and it's just a challenge in general. Another sign of that can go along with being nonverbal. Again, nonverbal doesn't necessarily mean that they just don't speak at all, but it also means that they lack that functional language. Because at one point we were dealing with a speech therapist, and she mentioned that she believed that Aria was suffering from echolalia. Echolalia is when your child might repeat certain words or phrases over and over and over again. And that's something that we definitely noticed in Aria at a young age, when she did start using words or picking up words. It kind of threw us off, because at one point we thought, okay, wait a minute, isn't she nonverbal? And then we noticed that she would quote songs from Sesame Street or say something that Elmo said, but she was saying it over and over. And the speech therapist assumed that, maybe it was echolalia, and so that's what we were going with. As time progressed, we realized that she was scripting. Scripting, I'll leave the definition somewhere in here, but scripting is kind of like echolalia, but it's basically repeating phrases from different shows or games or things like that. And again, it does not qualify as functional language. So functional language is something that we are continuing to work on every day. Ways to help. There are a few ways that you can help your child gain functional language every day. Basically, you just have to continue to work on it. Maybe introducing new food items and sitting down during snack time so you can eat together. So you would have them request for certain food items. That way they would have to learn that word, whether it be applesauce and you're giving them applesauce, or you have to wait, and if they want a cracker, they'd have to say cracker in order to get it. Those are ways to encourage that functional language. So there's a demand for something. They have to request for it in order for them to get it. Another way to do that is to basically sit down and play. Like if y'all are playing together, this actually helps with socializing and that social interaction, the way they want to play. And so you kind of got to get in where you fit in if you want to play with them. But in order to gain that functional language and functional play, you get in there. So in order to get them to want to play, you could say words like, oh, doll, jump, jump, doll, jump. And if they see you doing that action with the doll and they hear the words, then they'll put the two together. And a lot of times, I know when we're playing, we gain functional language that way. Or ball, bounce ball, bounce ball, that kind of thing. And I know it sounds like you might be, you have to minimize your words in order to get certain concepts across to them. I mean, this might differ if your child's a little older or younger, but definitely if they're older and they've gained functional language already, or they're still working on it. I'm just going off the tips that I've learned across the way, because my daughter's only 4, and again, I'm not a professional. We're just working on this on a daily basis, trying to figure out what works and what doesn't work, and going along as things progress and as she just gets older. There are treatment options. Obviously, if you want your child to gain functional language, there's ABA therapy. That's something that we are big fans of. Again, I've heard back and forth between different people and how they feel about ABA therapy, but so far it's definitely been a great experience for me and my family. We really, really enjoy our ABA therapist and the facility that we use. Another way is obviously speech therapy. So if you get in contact with a good speech therapist, especially one that has specialized with children that have been diagnosed with autism, because not every speech therapist has worked with a child that actually has autism. And I think that's a very important thing to notate, because they take in information differently. They take in information and they learn differently. And so you want somebody that's going to be able to adapt to the way your child takes in information. So again, I think that's very, very important to kind of vet. You should be vetting your doctors and your medical profession team that you work with anyway, but definitely making sure that they specialize in something that you in particularly want to see happen with your child. Another thing is obviously you and your family, and encouraging everybody in your family to be on the same page when it comes to communicating with your child. Because I know Aria, she is super smart. She's super smart, and what she's learned is that, okay, well, mommy and daddy, they're gonna make me work for what I want. They might make me request for something or ask for something, but if I ask my sister, she'll just give it to me. Like if she drags her sister over to the cabinet, her sister might not make her say open door or, you know, request for cracker or anything like that. She might just give her a snack or give her juice cup without making her request for anything. And that doesn't benefit Aria in the long run. So we try to encourage all our girls to help us help her by encouraging her to helping us encourage her to speak and use her words. So if she does want a cracker, you know, if she reaches out for your hand, have her say your name. You know, have her say your name at least, or prompt her to say your name. And then if she wants, he takes you to the kitchen, you can, you know, sign kitchen or open door. You know, do you want juice? Do you want cracker? What do you want? You know, just different things to keep encouraging her to use her words, to get her to talk. Also, again, I'm a big advocate of sign language. Aria is not deaf. She can hear, but I think that sign language definitely helps her, give her another method of communicating, and this can help especially with children that are considered nonverbal and don't have any language at all. I found that sign language actually does help because it's still a language and gives them a mode of communicating, and so we do both. So anyway, I just want to come and share this little video with you guys and kind of give you a little heads up on, I don't know, nonverbal and what I figured that to mean, at least in my realm of figuring out this whole autism world. You know, it's every day is something different, and we're continuing to learn, and I'm continuing to learn. And so, you know, I just appreciate y'all coming, watching, and sticking with me. If you like this video, please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.